everyone, today we're back with another Scratch tutorial. I just wanted to make a quick video more about the Scratch editor. So let's get started. So I'm going to explain what these sections do. These sections each contain blocks of their own, and I'll explain you what each section does. So the motion monitors the movement of the sprite. The looks monitors the look of the sprite. The sound monitors the sound of the sprite. The events, so if something happens, it will do something. The control monitors loops. Sensing is monitoring the touch or if something is pressed. The operators involves the maths in Scratch. The variables, we'll get more into that later, is where you can assign something to something else. Like say you make a variable called score, you can assign it to 6. Like for example, my blocks is where you can make a custom block and then write some code under it, and then you can call the block. This is called a function. But we're going to get more into these later. So what I'm going to tell you about is the code of the sprite. So in order to create a new sprite, we go to choose a sprite over here, and we can choose any sprite we want. For example, we can choose a fish. So each separate sprite has its own code. For example, the sprite 1 has its own code. You have to drag code inside here. But the code for the fish is not the same. So you click on the fish and drag code in here. But in order to know which sprite code you're on, you'll see the sprite image up here, the cat image is there, and the fish image is there. You can change its name by clicking the sprite here, and it will say sprite, and it says sprite 1 over here. You can change that to cat. So another thing I want to show you is the coordinate system. I'm going to use a backdrop to help us. So let's choose a backdrop. And it works the same way as choosing a sprite, except it's a backdrop. So I'm going to click on the XY grid. So let me delete the fish, which is by pressing this track scan over here. And I'm going to explain the coordinate system. So the X position is a horizontal line joining this part and this part of the screen. When you make real Scratch programs, you won't see this backdrop, but I'm using it to explain you that for example, if I move the cat over here, the X would be negative 206. But if I move that here, the X will be 97. So here's the negative X and the positive X. Now I'm going to get into the Y section. So the Y is a vertical line joining this side and that side of the screen. For example, if I put the Y here, it's going to be positive over here. But what if we put it down over here? It will become negative. So if you want to make the cat go to a specific coordinate, I'm going to tell you this simple trick which makes it easier. Just go to motion, and you'll see this block go to X16 and go to Y minus 89. You can drag your sprite anywhere you want. For example, if we want to put our cat over here, the coordinates will just change to that, which is really helpful. So now let's see what happens if it goes to here. So we go to events and drag out the when green flag click button. And let's drag the cat somewhere else so it can go to that position. And let's press the green flag. so it went all the way back here. So that's how the coordinates position works. The last thing I want to do is show you how to draw a sprite. So we can delete our code just like this. And I'm going to show you how to draw your own sprite. So you go to choose a sprite, but except you go one up and it will say paint. So in order to make painting easier, you can use the Wacom tablet pad, which is you just have a pen and you can draw on that pad, and then the pen controls the movement of the mouse pointer, which is this thing you use to click stuff on. For example, I can click cat with it. So what we're going to do is show you how drawing works. So in the corner over here, you can see some various painting tools you can use. So I'm going to go over them one by one. So I'm going to start with this paintbrush thing. You can draw by dragging it, and I'm going to use a special pen to draw some lines. You can draw anything you want. So I just do this. I don't know what it is, but I just drew some lines, I guess. But what if you wanted to delete those lines? You can see this eraser button right here, and you can click on it, and then you will see the thickness of the eraser. If you want to make it bigger, you can just change it. For example, I can change it to 60, and the eraser will be a bit bigger. If you want to make it smaller, you can just change this to example 20, and you'll see this eraser thing is a whole lot smaller. So also you can change the thickness of the paintbrush as well. For example, you can change it to 15, then it's thicker. Then you can change it to 5, then it's thinner. So there's various things you can do with these two buttons. But what I'm going to show you is the straight. But what I'm going to show you, if you see this diagonal line over here, this helps you draw a straight line. I use this in most of my drawings, in fact, so you can draw a whole straight line like this. So let's erase that. So what I want to show you is, you see the square over here, you can use this to make a square. For example, I just made a square. For example, you can make any four-sided shape with this. It doesn't have to be a square, but you can actually drag it, make it more wider using these blue circles over here. You can make them smaller, bigger. You can stretch one side. You can make one unstretch, make one side smaller, and yeah. So let's delete that. So I'm going to show you this circle. So you can make a circle using this. You can make an oval using this. You can make any circular shape. So I'm going to show you the typing. If you use the T, you can just type something on the screen. For example, hi, with an exclamation mark, and it will be a separate sprite. You can just delete that like that by pressing the backspace button. And I'm going to show you the fill option. So what we need to do is draw a shape before we can fill it. So I'm just going to draw a triangle over here. Not perfect, but it's okay. We can fill it black like this. And I'm just going to erase it. And yeah. So I'm going to show you one last thing, which is the same as the same icon as the mouse pointer. It's called select over here, but you can reshape something. For example, if I draw a straight line, for example, if I make like a curvy line and I want to make it a bit straight, what we can do is go to the reshape function and it will reshape your shape. You can change how it looks. For example, you can reshape this like that. You can reshape it like that. Now we made this really cool shape. So in order to go back to code, we can go to press this code over here next to costumes, and the costumes is where you can draw it, and click that. So yeah, I'm going to just delete sprite 1 over here because we don't need it anymore. And yeah, so this is the end of the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and bye!